she wasn't in. You'll have to scoot a little more over, girl. You're too far out.
Be careful, be careful. Mr. Stickermania from Louisville, Kentucky. Is the camera straight? It looks like it's a little crooked. How's it going out there in your... We better move the table over a bit there. How's it going? You can't bump the table. That's a cardinal rule. What's going on? Wednesday night, our usual live stream time. Got a lot to show. Just have a little bit of shout outs. And I got stuff all over me to show from this collection I got the other day. Shout outs to Perry Cox. He's going to auction off my rare. You've seen this in a couple of my short videos. We have the official Beatles Dolls in-store banner, gold banner for Remco dolls. Not too many of these exist in the world. 7" by 17.5" original authentic. He's going to put it on a 7-day auction starting next week. Let's put that fragile piece away. Polly, I reached out to Polly today to get Patricia's address. We're going to send her the Hard Day's Night poster that's in that closet, if I can show it one more time. I think it's Apple from 2004. So Patricia, for Little Beatles Corner, we're going to send this your way.
Go down a little bit. There we go.
George Music for All Seasons, say hello to all. Joseph Mancino, say hello. Sticker family, great looking banner.
Thanks. Got this other rare poster I won from Perry Cox last week. Costs a lot of money in an auction. Not too many of these in the world either. Advertises the British Ministry of Dentistry poster from 1967 in the United Kingdom. The Beatles are all eating apples, and it says, "Look who's joined the Apple Club now. In the mill with an apple, it's natural toothbrush." Which is weird. This came out a year before the Apple Records was started. That the Beatles started their own record label. Let's put that away. That's how much do you think that's worth? It's worth a lot of money.
I think 4,000.
No, nothing like that. Over $700. So the rest of this on the table I got out of a Beatles memorabilia collection from Stephen Rocks. He must be an antique dealer, and he got a hold of this big 30-pound box collection of Beatles memorabilia, and this is the best pieces out of it. This is a little rare vinyl made by Dame in 1964 out of New York City. Little vinyl clutch purse. And Bill asked me today on a message, he says, did it used to have a leather handle on there? And Terry Crane in his book, he didn't even have a picture of it in it. But he says this is the rare version of it that's a 7 by 3.5, and some were made with the leather handle and some were just made with the zipper. But it's got the Beatles instruments and their figures and their autographs. It's a pretty nice little piece. It's up on my eBay store, STICKERMANIA 2853 at $299. I'm surprised it hasn't sold yet.
Me too.
You want to put that other way?
Vinyl Piper said, I love your streams. I wish you did this for Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd?
You have sometimes.
Yeah. The Pink Floyd, about the only one I've ever dealt with in the albums is Dark Side of the Moon and Wish You Were Here. Those seem to be the two Pink Floyd albums that have the most value. So also in this collection, I thought this was pretty cool. You've seen this Beatle button many a times. Made by, it has a NIMS Enterprises 64 limited on it. But what's nice about this, it's got the original price tag from a discount store of 37 cents from 1964. That's the smaller version. I think that's harder to find than the bigger button.
Did you buy it for 37 cents?
No. These were in it. The instructions for the Revell model kits of Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr. I've had all 4 model kits before. The ones that are the most valuable are the ones that were made in the United Kingdom because they have more vivid colors on the boxes. You've seen the scarf before. You have to find the scarf that's got the edges like that to be original, and there's a lot of counterfeits with straight edges that aren't the real deal.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, some other things out of that. There was this greeting card I thought was pretty cool. I removed from a scrapbook. To celebrate your birthday, why not do it as the Beatles do? You open it up, and it says, "Let your hair down, happy birthday." 1964 greeting card taken off on the Beatles' fame. There were a lot of picture sleeves that were neatly taped in the scrapbook, and I carefully removed them. This one's a pretty rare sleeve to get for Do You Want to Know a Secret? Got that real nice out of the scrapbook. I got a I Want to Hold Your Hand out of the scrapbook. An East Coast. Yes, Paul's got his cigarette in his hand. My Bonnie was in there. And there was a rollover Beethoven in there in the original sleeve with Please Mr. Postman on the B-side. Real nice condition record. This was imported over the border from Canada. The demand was so high it was on the Billboard charts.
Do they? Andy Gonzalez.
Andy Gonzalez said, "Hello, are you selling these
Hands
live?"
up. Come on. Let's talk again.
Andy Gonzalez said, "Hello, are you selling these live now or are they already sold? Is there a site to find all these items?"
You can make an offer. I guess it's my own little whatnot.
It's not showing on the camera because it's only seeing it, yeah.
Mr. _ STICKERMANIA at yahoo.com's my YouTube email.
How about your eBay?
If you're interested in something, send me an offer. So I usually I show these on the YouTube channel for a couple times before I put them on my eBay store.
What's your eBay store name? He wants to know.
STICKERMANIA 2853. We don't have that any listed anywhere. We should.
I can show them the back of the card real quick up close.
STICKERMANIA 2853. That's my eBay store.
Can I have that?
It won't stay in focus though. That's the problem. I got a bunch of them.
Got this From Me to You, VJ 522. This was released in the spring of 1963 by VJ Records, and it bombed. From Me to You with Thank You Girl on the B-side. It's a pretty rare record to have after the VJ 498. It's about a $200 record.
Oh my.
For a little record, that's a lot.
Yeah.
A few other picture sleeves that I have, and I'll get onto these books. All these are from 1964. Came with that Beatles collection. I'll Cry Instead. and I Love Her. These both came out in the summer of 1964 for Hard Day's Night, and there were so many Beatle releases that these didn't sell very well on the charts because the Beatles already had so many singles on the charts. So it's a tough sleeve to get. And of course, this was the number one, She Loves You, on Swan Records.
Andy Gonzalez said, got it, super thanks. And then Thomas Jean said, thanks for your hard work.
You're welcome. We work at it pretty hard. I'm passing on the content of my 40 years of buying and selling Beatles memorabilia while I still can. I'm at the 70-year-old mark, 70 and a half.
You forgot something.
So these all came out of the scrapbook. They had little holes put in them, but then when I took the scrapbook apart, they neatly came out. You got a song sheet music for I Want to Hold Your Hand. You got two different ones for She Loves You, which is pretty cool. And you have one for Can't Buy Me Love. That probably has the most value because it's kind of like the picture sleeve. Such an iconic song, Can't Buy Me Love.
No more. You can read it, but I don't think he does. I thought that was one we sold back.
What's the question?
Okay. Andy Gonzalez said, do you please have a signed Paul McCartney Blue Eyes in the Storm?
I have I have a one that's in my bank vault. I'll sell it to you for $6,500.
Ooh.
The deluxe version of what's it called? Eyes of the Storm?
Blue Eyes of the Storm?
Not Blue Eyes.
That's what he said.
Oh, it's Eyes of the.
He said, Paul McCartney, Blue Eyes in the Storm.
It's Eyes of the Storm.
Eyes of the Storm. In the Eye of the Storm.
So why did he say blue?
But I have one. It's numbered, pretty sure it's numbered 144. And yes, it is signed by Paul McCartney on the inside, and it's a deluxe version in the original shipping box.
There you go, Daniel, come up with it.
Daniel said he meant blue-eyed soul, not blue eyes.
Blue-eyed soul. I don't know what the blue-eyed soul means. What
is
is that,
what
Daniel?
He's calling him as a blue eyes? Is that what Paul had blue eyes?
Blue-eyed soul.
I thought his eyes was brown.
Well, I don't know what they're saying. I'm confused.
All right, after the sheet music, we got the songbooks.
His eyes are brown.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, so I'm confused. Oh, is it Gin? Oh, he's saying that. All right, I got it. Now he's just calling that the Gin of the music.
General.
Yeah, General. I can't pronounce it. Just go ahead and do all the comments.
Rubber Soul came from when Paul was doing a, I thought it was I'm Down outtake on Anthology. At the end of the song, he goes, Plastic Soul, Plastic Soul.
Do the Richard James and down.
Richard James.
You guys are getting me confused tonight. Go ahead.
Richard James said, Mr. Stickerman, I may never forgive you for selling that Abbey Road signed by Sir Ringo and Sir Paul. That was mine to buy.
Well, you had plenty of time to buy it, Mr. Richard James. And we even talked about it several times on this channel and Rachel's Ghost. The money, you got to come up with the money to get a hold of it. I sold it for close to $5,000.
Richard James said, I was saving up all my allowances for it.
Sorry. I held on to that for about 6 months. All right, we got all these songbooks came in this collection. This 30-pound. Can we be quiet a second?
Well, Dan, she was
There was
read
more
Daniels and
comments.
stuff, but it's just it went with what we were talking about.
Right. Let me get through these songbooks.
Shaking my head.
All right, we got these songbooks that were in this collection I got the other day. There's some real rare ones in here. Beatles books, souvenir, song album, Beatles book of recorded hits, the latest Beatles book of recorded hits. These are all pretty much 1964. New guitar, Beatle hits. The third golden Beatles album, Beatles combo, play guitar like the Beatles. The Beatles guitar beat.
Beat.
Then we get into the later ones. Hard Day's Night. Beatles 65. These are all complete album songbooks. Beatles 6. Rubber Soul. The White Album has some really cool pictures in here that you haven't seen before, but I got one at the end that's really cool. Kind of hard to show, but right there, and the cover's made out of the same material that the album cover's made out of. Let It Be, Abbey Road, and it has the original poster inside. You've seen the poster before. I've shown it several times.
I thought it was Let It Be naked.
It's got some unusual pictures here. That's a cool picture. One of the last pictures ever taken of the Beatles smiling together. And this was the cream of the crop. Never seen this. It's got to have some value. I haven't put this up on my eBay store yet, but I will tomorrow. It's called, from 1968, Sweet 16, the Sheet Music Special. And let me show you some of the color pictures in this. It's really amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Look at those pictures of Paul and John.
No. No, it's funny.
How they do it?
All right, can I get to this place?
Yes.
Look at that picture of John and George. There's one other good color picture in here, but I probably won't find it real quick. Right there, Ringo and his first wife, Maureen. All right, we're done with the songbooks. And the song, those can all be put out of
Do
the
one
way.
of the comments because there's a bunch of
Daniel Castillo said, Blue-Eyed Soul is a genre of music. It means white people singing soul music.
Paul was good at that.
Yeah, he's one. Andy Gonzalez said, I have 2 Paul McCartney.
That poster was there.
I know.
The what?
Andy Gonzalez said, I have 2 Paul McCartney signed Orange the lyrics. Would you be interested in trading in the fairways and the orange worth more?
For what?
I have 2 Paul McCartney signed Orange the lyrics.
Oh, okay.
And he wants to trade.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't do too much trading.
He'll see.
All right, here's some Beatle books that were in that collection. We got you can only get this, Beatles in a Hard Day's Night, if you bought this as a souvenir in the movie theater when you saw Hard Day's Night when it first came out. Rare Magazine, the special Beatles issue, Talking Pictures. You've seen this one before, the radio station put out several versions of that. Beatles on Broadway, and this is a rare one here to get. The Best of the Beatles from Fabulous. It's a real fragile book, but it has great color pictures of the Beatles in there from '63. The Best of the Beatles from Fabulous. All right, let's put those neatly out of the way. Table's cleared off.
All right,
Let's do some questions and I'll pull out some more stuff.
Mr. Make Believe said, would you say you possess the best Beatles collection in America? When people ask about my own, I say
Well, you gotta talk a little
I
slower.
know. Stand up.
Wow.
I can't ever talk right. Dude.
Do I have the best Beatles collection? Go ahead. I do not have the best Beatles.
When people ask about my own, I always say I own one better than anyone you'll ever meet, but I realize yours would blow mine away.
I've had one of the best Beatles collections. I've had it over time, over the last 10, 15 years. I could go on and on what I've owned. But that's the nice thing about buying and reselling. I don't get emotionally attached. I sell something high priced, I buy something high priced.
67 Pepper said, what's the lowest numbered white album you've come across?
Lowest white album I've had is in the 50,000 range. I've never, I know the ones under 500 go for a lot of money.
Joseph Mantino said, what amazing condition were all of these in the 30-pound box?
All those were in the 30-pound box, plus a lot more that I haven't shown.
Yeah, he said, what amazing condition. And you never said your good deeds.
Good deeds. I helped a lady that just got out of the hospital that had a stroke too. I loaded all her car up 2 days ago.
That's good.
And I ran out a guy out of the store today that was smoking a cigarette, and he threatened to beat me up.
He smoked it in the store?
He was, yeah, right there in the produce area, and I ran him out. And then him and his buddy held him back, but he was pissed off at me. All right, this is never had this before. This is no cracks. These are real fragile. Holland collection from 64, 65. They're made out of clay. You got a Paul. They kind of look alike. You got a Paul. And these two kind of look identical, and then you got a Ringo. Let's put those out of the way. But I've never had those before. That was part of the 30-pound box.
Close up for a second, just so they
That
can
one?
see them as like that. Looks go up a little bit, right there.
That one is leaning more this way.
All right, there you go.
This leg like that.
This one has Paul wrote on it. And these two, you can tell me which one's George and John, but they look identical to me. All right, let's put those away. They are rarely fragile.
67 Pepper said, made in China?
Made in Holland.
Made in who?
Holland.
Holland.
Holland made those clay figures in mid-1960s. Hard Day's Night and
You were saying.
Beatles color cards. And Beatles headband. These were all in that scrapbook I removed. Show you first this little, I think that's a real nice advertisement. Woolworths. Wow, they're here, they're here. Authentic Beatles weighed $2.99. Beatle headquarters. Beatle records, 84 cents a piece. You can get She Loves You, My Bonnie, Please Please Me, I Want to Hold Your Hand. Beatle albums, $2.97. You can get, it must be Meet the Beatles. And then over here, Beatle sweatshirts, Beatle albums, Beatle wigs at the Boston store. In the Beatles book. All this is for Hard Day's Night. Never seen that advertisement before. Get your tickets in advance. First come, first serve. Tickets go on sale. Avoid the stampede, don't be sorry. And then I have this little one that says, arrived with the force of a hurricane, the Beatles, A Hard Day's Night. Says 6 brand new songs. These special tickets will guarantee you a seat. They played it 4 times in one day. And I imagine there's some girls that went to all 4 of the shows. So there's 50 cards of the 55 set that I got out of the scrapbook. They were all by little holders. So they came out in near mint condition. No wear to them at all. There's the wrapper I got out. And there's the parts of the Hard Day's Night box that they were sold in the store. That was on one page of the scrapbook. This girl collected a lot of memorabilia. And the color cards. The colored card sheet is on there. I left it on there because there's some backing cards for the guitar pin, brooch pin there. And then there's a rare backing card styled by Nicky Byrne down there on the bottom. Never had that backing card before. NIMS Enterprise Limited, manufactured by Randall. And then you got the, that's how the cards were put in the whole scrapbook, with these little gold holders so I could take them out and they were in perfect shape. The color cards are 60 out of the 64 here. And then another page, this is the wrapper for the black and white series. And then it has the Beatles headband taped to the scrapbook. All right, that's what was in the main things, good things in the scrapbook. Let's put all that away, and then we'll start showing some albums.
Everyone like, subscribe, hit the notification link for more content and a giveaway at 2,000 subscribers.
2,000 subscribers. We got 91 more to go, I think. 91 more.
Catch up on the comments real quick while he's doing that.
Okay. Thomas Jean said, why would anyone be pissed off at you?
There's when it gets starting to get dark outside, it's we close the indoors. It's not as safe as it used to be.
Daniel Castillo said, China the wrestler or China the country?
China the wrestler.
The one that died a couple of years ago. That's just a joke. Go on.
Any more shout outs? Mikey Rugla. I'm wearing a shirt. I was on his show, and he had a great back to school video last week on the Joe Mayo channel. So check that out. But he made one mistake. He kept showing that notebook, the Beatles notebook from 1964, and he kept saying that there's Paul's cigarette again, Paul's cigarette again. And that's true. The first issues were all made that way, but when Loose Leaf got a hold of the notebook, they airbrushed the cigarette out of it, and I've had that several times. So it's much rare to have the notebook binder without the cigarette in Paul's hand. And shout out to Rockaway Records today. I made a deal with Mark from Rockaway Records, and I'm getting one of the, they made a prototype of the poster. Let me take a little bit of water here.
Do comment real quick. No, he's good. I thought it was going to be a second.
What's the comment?
No, you good. Go ahead. Finish up.
So anyway, the VJ Records made a prototype for the Beatles versus the Four Seasons poster that had too much of a green tint, and only 30 of them were ever made in the world. And I have one of them coming from Rockaway Records, so that's going to be pretty cool. I'll have to put that in a frame. All right, one other shout out, a couple of shout outs. Oasis. People went crazy the other day on buying Oasis tickets. They must have sold 500,000 of them in one day.
Did you get one?
No, they're all in England.
Oh.
But I hope they come to the United States, but we'll see. My three favorite Oasis songs are Don't Look Back in Anger, Live Forever, and Wonderwall.
Did you get them $12 tickets?
I don't know what we're talking about.
Last stream.
Oh, the HUD tickets? Talking about tickets that he bought for the concert?
Not for Chappell Roan. Someone was telling him to go to this thing and it was only $12 and he
Oh,
said,
he's talking about Brad Parnell, the one hand clapping. We have not done that. We came down with a little bit of allergy bug this week, and we're just all recovering. All right, a little bit of Chappell Roan shout out while we're talking about Chappell Roan. What I got with Chappell Roan? Right here. Some new things on Chappell Roan. Joan always likes my Chappell Roan stuff. I got this sign with the COA on the back of Chappell with her Strange. I think that's from, what movie would you say that's from? I know what it is. What is she trying to look like, her and her band, in this outfit?
Them three witches sisters.
I say it's Rocky Horror Picture Show. Don't you think she looks? You probably never seen the Rocky Horror Picture.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
No, she looks like.
She came out and she had the little tray on, and just like the girl in Rocky Horror Picture Show.
You know them people that Emily beat, them three sisters?
Yeah, but that was different. No.
There's a cassette that's coming out in the United States for her Rise and Fall of the Midwest Princess. It hasn't been released in the United States yet, but this is one from England. I don't think I've shown it yet, a sealed cassette. And I opened one of these up to show you the record. Pink Pony Club with my favorite song on the flip side, Naked in Manhattan. I love Naked in Manhattan song. But Pink Pony Club will go down as an all-time classic, I think. There's a pink vinyl 7-inch record. All right, one other thing about Chappell Roan. If you want to compare her to the Beatles, like I was a little bit, the way she rose to fame, when the Beatles were on and their fame and they exploded from the mid-1962 for almost 3 years, Brian Epstein made commitments. They had to do interviews, they had to do concerts, they had to do recording. They were the busiest working band ever in the history of music for 3 years straight. And I know there was 4 of them, so that's tougher with Chappell Roan because she's by herself. But when she canceled those 2 shows in Europe, that's caused a lot of trouble. But I hope she makes up those concert dates for the people in Paris and in the Netherlands. It'll be interesting to see what song she does here at the VMAs on September 11th, when it'll be a new song, or if she's going to do one of her hit songs.
Mr. Make Believe, the amount of Beatles stuff that came out in 1964 is mind-boggling. It never ends.
Yeah, the book, Terry Crane, he lists 150 items from 64 to 66, and he says since he's done this book, he's found 500 more items.
And Tino said that was a nice rapper, I guess, from earlier. Richard James, Mr. STICKERMANIA, I have a John Lennon signed pick guard. How much is it worth?
You'd have to have it authenticated by Perry Cox. Frank Casio doesn't do it anymore, or Gary or Wayne Johnson from Rockaway Records, or Trax, Paul Wayne of Trax.
Thomas Jean.
If it was authenticated and it was real, it'd be worth between about $2,500.
Thomas Jean said, "You be careful, my friend." Mr. Make Believe, so many great Oasis songs.
There are a lot of great ones. I told you my 3 favorite.
Daniel said Wonderwall is an anthem.
It is. There's a video on YouTube where Noel Gallagher sings Wonderwall and Live Forever on acoustic guitar, and it'll bring tears to your eye.
Daniel said the Beatles came at a time rock and roll was dying and going away.
The Beatles mean Oasis?
No, that's what he says. The Beatles came.
The Beatles came when rock and roll was done. Oh, yeah. When Fabian and Pat Boone, and I know what you're saying.
He's saying in many ways they got lucky.
They were there at the right time. It was like music, rock music from another planet. The world went from black and white to color February 9th, 1964 on the Ed Sullivan Show. I thought I was 10 years old watching it.
And then John Hood come in, just joined. Any update on the Ram UK?
No, I do not have any update, John. I'm going to reach out to him tomorrow. We've been under the weather this week. and I'll try to find out if he has ever shipped it out. He keeps stalling on me, keeps coming up with excuses. I'll try to get to the bottom of it.
And then Daniel said, "Why was referring to Elvis, Chuck Berry, and Little Richard, not the teen idols?"
Oh, okay.
And then Miller J. Roger Epstein also is really good.
Yeah, Roger Epstein from Real Autographs. I have several things with his COA. I left him out. I'm sorry, Roger Epstein.
Yep. All right. Well,
He's one of the 5 people you can trust on Beatle autographs. Sorry, I was thinking that in my head and didn't come up with it. I'm glad you gave it to me because one set of my autographs I have has a Roger Epstein COA.
John Hood said, "Been sick here too. COVID. Hope you feel better."
Yeah, it's gone all around the grocery store. All right, my Strawberry Fields shout out. Do I have my Strawberry Fields picture sleeve? Right there. This is a West Coast 1967 tab cut picture sleeve for one of the best A-B-side double-sided singles of all time in the history of rock music. Penny Lane and Strawberry Fields Forever. My buddy Kevin from Kevin Records doesn't like Penny Lane, but I think Penny Lane is a fantastic song. And this is the version that has a mistake of 3 minutes listed on the time on the label when it was really only 2:57 because they edited out 3 seconds of the trumpet ending. So it's tougher to find the 3 minutes on the label. One time I had the promo version of this record that had the trumpet ending. And one other thing about Strawberry Fields, it went to number 2 because Penny Lane and Strawberry Fields both charted, and Engelbert Humperdinck was number 1 on the charts, and everybody was going, the Beatles must be over with. They didn't go to number 1 for the first time. But what was the name of the song that Engelbert Humperdinck had at number 1? There's your trivia question for the night.
Joseph Mantino said, "Nice picture sleeve. I hope everybody feels better." And then Daniel said, "God forbid monkeypox becomes another pandemic. Get them immune systems built up, boys, if you want to last. I'll tell you that."
One other thing about Oasis. Guess what? The first 2 Oasis albums are on the British charts at number 2 and 3 in the top 10. Can you imagine that? Just right away, back in the charts.
Joseph said, "Yes, with Please Release Me."
It was Release Me.
Yeah, but they all said, "Please release me." So
Maybe I got it wrong. I looked it up and it said Release Me. But you're probably right. It's probably Please Release Me. Badfinger, told you had the acetate coming for this album. This is a CD that I've been listening to a lot lately. My favorite Badfinger album. But I have an acetate coming that the tracks were all rejected. That's produced by Jeff Emmerich. And then Apple Studios told that the band had to go back into the studio, and George Harrison was supposed to produce them, but he had other obligations. He did 4 songs, and then Todd Rundgren came and finished up producing this album. Their masterpiece album, straight up.
Daniel Castillo said Wonderwall gets played a lot in England for soccer games.
Yeah, and so does Don't Look Back in Anger.
George Fisher said, "Nice." He's the one doing all of our work, George. It's usually here. He's watching.
All right.
Appreciate
How you
that.
doing, George?
Thank you for all the work you've been doing here.
Yeah, well, my condo is getting remodeled. There's another, got in 1965 picture sleeve of I Can't Get No Satisfaction. Joe Mayo has come out and said that he's burnt out on hearing the song I Can't Get No Satisfaction I don't think I'll get burned out on it
Yeah,
till the day I die.
It's a great song.
That riff just raises. It's like She Loves You. You don't ever get burned out on those great songs, I don't think.
George said it's a classic.
It's a classic. I think I showed one of these last time, these 8-track tapes, early 70s. Got Led Zeppelin 2 on the pink label with the original title sleeve, and I got House of the Holy on the pink label with the title sleeve. Most of these title sleeves were all thrown away as soon as the 8-track tape was taken home.
Mr. Make Believe said, wow, that PS is very hard to find in good condition.
The picture sleeve satisfaction?
Yeah. And then Joseph Mantino said, I was just listening to the Stones tonight.
All right, well, I guess let's talk about the Stones for a second since we're talking about them. Got some new Stones albums in. Got this Flowers. This is in the shrink, and this is the mono.
There you go.
Hard to get the mono from 1968 with the red maroon label. Got another Exile on Main Street, one of John Hood's favorite albums. Got the Dirty Work album still in the red shrink. Once you take this shrink off, the cover looks completely different. Kevin from Kevin Records says he's never seen this album look like that before because only looked that way new in the store. I think my son likes this album, Steel Wheels. And I got a Start Me Up in the shrink with a hype sticker for only Start Me Up. And did I say that wrong? Tattoo You from 1980. And the 3T lenticular cover of Satanic Majestic's Satanic Majestic's Request. It's their take on the Sgt. Pepper album. There's my Sgt. Pepper poster. Any questions on the Rolling Stones before I go to something else? Alright, we're going to talk about these autographs I got.
Hey, crush one of these real quick in your mouth. Bite that down real quick. This is trying to give you a little coldness. Love the Tattoo You and Steel Wheels is what Joseph Mantino says.
Got another batch of these from Joe Hilton. These are autographs done by Neil Aspinall from the mids, about 1968, for all the demand of Beatle fans when the Beatles couldn't possibly sign their autographs. And Neil Aspinall was really good at doing it. And he even has the Apple Corps limited address, 95 Wigmore Street, London. And it says right down here, the directors are Neil Aspinall, Harry Pinkster, and Dennis O'Dell. And there's another set of Neil Aspinall autographs, original autographs. Not the Beatles autographs, but he was real good. That's Neil Aspinall set autographs. He must have used 4 different pens to forge their names. Those aren't auto pen. Those are actually done by Neil Aspinall, that's no longer with us, the president of Apple Records.
John Hood said, is Tattooed You sealed and or in shrink?
It's in the shrink.
And Joseph Mantino said, well, that's great, getting old, Neil.
The what?
Good old Neil.
Good old Neil.
Yeah.
Neil was their trusted roadie for their whole history of the Beatles. If you ever look at the Beatles when they were getting mobbed in '64 all over the world, there's one person, well, there's 2 people protecting them, but it's mostly Neil Aspinall. And if things got out of hand, then the big guy, Mal Evans, helped out. There you go, John Hood, in the shrink. I got one on my eBay store that has the hype sticker for Start Me Up and the other big hit song, and I can't remember it right now. Let's see, it's Waiting on a Friend. So I have a hype sticker for both of those songs, and this one just has a hype sticker for Start Me Up. Alright, that's it on our Rolling Stones segment. Well, we're going to talk about the autographs. We're going to talk about the BC-13. We're going to talk about the Kinks. Let's do a Kinks. I haven't done a Kinks shout out. Got a hold of these yesterday in a estate sale with Kevin of Kevin Records. We bought a lot of records for about $1 a piece. If you can believe, these Kinks albums only cost $1 a piece. Original issues. Something Else by the Kinks. It has one of the most classic Kinks songs of all time is on this album. What is it? It's Waterloo Sunset. This is a rare one to find in the shrink. Village Green. The Kinks are the Village Green Preservation Society. That's a rare album there. That's valuable. You got Arthur. And yes, it does have the original Queen insert. Show you that. That's real fragile. You gotta be real careful with that Queen insert, because it'll bend real easy. Has a little pull tab on the top. And it folds out. There is the Queen. That's pretty valuable to have that insert inside it. Then we got another rare album to find, because the Kinks weren't very big in the United States at the time. Powerman versus Lola versus Powerman and the Money Go Round. That's in the shrink also. Muswell Hillbillies, and then they got signed to RCA Records, and they had to come back to the United States after the song Lola. And then they started touring the United States again. Everybody's in Showbiz. Preservation Act 1. School Opera. Schoolboys in Disgrace. And then they went to Arista. I like this album a lot, called Sleepwalker. Remember seeing them on the Midnight Special doing songs from that. And I went and saw them at the Dayton Hair Arena with John Cougar opening up, and Kinks Low Budget. Word of Mouth. Misfits. Towards the end of the Kinks, it was called UK Jive with the big hype sticker. Think Visual. This is when the Kinks were pretty much falling apart, and that's a Holland. That is a Canada import. Golden Hour of the Kinks with the early songs. That's my Kinks shout out. What do you think of that?
Fire.
Back to Beatles. Let's show the Look magazine. Most collectible Beatles magazine there is from the 60s would have to be this one right here. 1968 January. Look magazine with John Lennon on the cover. The Avalon photos. Got Ringo. You seen me with these shirts on before. Real fragile magazine. Gotta be really careful. Paul and George. And John Lennon, you saw him in the same picture as on the cover. And yes, it will open up if I can be real careful to open up to show that banner poster. And it's going to be awful hard to show, but that's about the best I can do without tearing it up. I told you I have that banner poster coming in the black and white one in the original shipping tube from 1968. It'll be coming in here in the next couple days.
Do the Brad.
Brad Parnell said, I came in late. Do you have a code?
Yes,
Yes.
You ever seen this before?
I'm towards the end of it.
20
Yeah, the stamps.
and the 20.
Oh yeah, those are mass produced. Not worth much. Magical Mystery Tour, yes, John Hood. I got one to keep for myself. 1977, near mint record. I got to keep one for myself. Looks like it was played once or twice, and we're just gonna hook my stereo system up tomorrow again, where I can on my Thorns turntable, where I can play side 2. Let's see if I fall off my seat when Penny Lane comes on. I know you fall off your seat during Strawberry Fields, but Penny Lane is the one that shakes me up on this one.
Vito hair.
Vito Harris said, let's see the label on Village Green or Arthur.
Yep, I'll show you. It's not the first issue. It's the early 70s. If it was a tricolor,
Ow.
sorry. If it was a tricolor label on this, it would be a $200 album. But I think because it's near mint and in the shrink, it's still a $100 album. Early 70s. If you're interested in it, give a shout out to my YouTube email.
Okay, do the Daniel.
Daniel Castillo said, Frank, are you sold on the Low Woman 45 after Mike's review?
I don't know what you said. Say it again.
Daniel Castillo said, Frank, are you sold on the Low Woman 45 after Mike's review? Low.
Where's it at? Show me here.
Right here.
I can't read it. LA Woman 45 after Mike's review. Mike from the End Groove. I haven't watched that yet. This collection we bought yesterday has a sealed Doors album in there, and it's the it's not the first album. I'm not gonna come up with it. It's not LA Woman, but he did have an LA Woman in the shrink. But there's a sealed album, Waiting for the Sun. So maybe I'll have that for Saturday to show factory sealed album of Waiting for the Sun.
Here comes the sun.
All right, we got a BC-13 from 1978 in again. The BC-13s from 78, they have a darker color than the the 80s versions. Real nice box. And yes, it has the unique poster of the White Album photos that were only in the 78 box sets. And the covers are all laminated. They didn't do that on later boxes, and they all have this laminated strip there on the one edge. So this is the best pressing. Tom Port loves these 1978 BC-13s. Probably have to, I should put a shout out to Tom Port from Better Records, see if he wants to buy this from me. Price on it would be $750 if you're interested.
Beetle Harris said originals are two-tone labels on Village and Arthur, not the tri-label things.
On which one?
Arthur.
Arthur? Arthur. Is that all the kink questions we got going here? Some of these are original issues. Got any more kink questions? You better get them out. Get them out.
Daniel Costello sent
This is the original, right? The tricolor.
No, she said originals are two-tone labels on Village and Arthur, not the tri-label.
This is a two-tone.
Oh, you said tri-label.
Well, what I meant is there's only two colors.
And Daniel Costello.
Isn't that an original issue of Arthur? It sure looks like it to me, and it's never been played.
Daniel Costello said I might want to ask Chad
Chasm.
to send you a copy.
Chasm.
What about ask Chad what?
Chasm to send you a copy.
Of the LA woman.
Of the LA woman. Yeah, Chad might owe me a favor or two since I peeled a butcher cover for him. All right, we got the White Album. Finish this up. Laminated cover. Is that sharp? Photos. Poster. Is dated. The inner sleeves. They're all dated 1978. This one says 478 on the bottom of the sleeve. That means April of 1978 when this pressing was done. Yellow Submarine, Abbey Road, and Let It Be, and Rarities, all with laminated covers. Except for Rarities, that's not laminated. Alright, that's it for my BC13.
Beetle Hair said yes.
Guess what?
It was the original.
It was original, alright. Arthur is original, and Village Green wasn't, and I have one other one I think is original.
Daniel Costello said those because 13 are panned left and right.
Hey, what?
Those because 13 are panned left and right.
Those BC13.
Oh.
Are you missing that?
Those.
Yes, but some of those pressings from the BC13 early ones are recut by Harry T. Moss, and they're superior in sound. All right, we got a Something Else by the Kinks. I'm pretty sure this is original. This is the this is the 3 different colors. That is an original Something Else by the Kinks. The original inner sleeve from Reprise. Who owned Reprise Records in the late 1960s? There's another trivia question for you today. Somebody, a big music artist, owned Reprise Records. We got Lola.
Daniel said Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra is correct. That looks like a 1970s issue of Lola. And we got Arthur, or Muswell Hillbillies. That is on a RCA. This is an import. This is from, Arthur is from, Netherlands. All right, let's put my Kinks albums away. I think that answers all my Kinks questions. How do you like this poster I got in today? Midnight launch of the Beatles rock band. It says September 8, 2009. Line starts at 10 p.m. You can get in the store at midnight. Rock band is selling at 12:01. September 9th, 2009. The Beatles rock band available at GameStop. You like that? I'm not gonna be able to put that up. Got this cool Chappell Roan poster in. Let's see if I can get it off here.
I don't know if I would take it off.
Yeah, I won't be able to show you if I know. Joan might be interested in this. This was only available, this litho, as a premiere party on Halloween for when this album was released.
Oh.
That's Chappell Roan dressed up in her Halloween outfit. Look at those lips. On the back, it even has a little tag. It says Chappell Roan.
What is wrong with her face?
She likes to put in that heavy makeup and eyes and lips, and she puts even makeup on or lipstick on her teeth.
On her teeth.
Look.
Ew.
You never watched the NPR Tiny Desk concert? It's a great thing to see on YouTube with Chappell Roan. She has lipstick on her teeth when she's singing. And she's got a cigarette hanging out of her wig. Red wig.
Daniel Castillo said, feels like yesterday I bought the game on September 9th, 09.
He did it 999. He said I pre-ordered it.
He said I pre-ordered it.
Here's some more of what we got in that estate sale yesterday. Some amazing stuff for $1 a piece. How about getting a Sex Pistols very first day issue for $1? I don't think you could find that in a record store for $1. It does not have submission listed on the back, but it does have all 12 tracks on the record. So this should be a first issue from the United States of Nevermind the Bullocks. I'd say that's worth about $100. I'm gonna have to crank that up a couple times. I saw Johnny Rotten with Public Image Limited once, and he only would do 2 Sex Pistols songs, Anarchy in the UK, and he did, what was the other song he did? Holidays in the Sun. Got the original inner sleeve, Sex Pistols, and there was a lot of late 1980s vinyl, which is hard to find. I saw this group with Ernie Mills back in Hamilton, Ohio, and Cincinnati. The Jesus and Mary Chain. And this is Automatic, and I remember the song Head On. I like that song a lot, Head On. These all came from the collection yesterday. Collectible linen with the hype sticker. Shaved fish. A pressing of plastic Ono band from, I think it's Dutch. This says Australia. Australia plastic Ono band. Double Fantasy with a rare hype sticker for all 3 songs. 4 songs. 4 hit songs. That's the only time I've ever seen the hype sticker with all 4 songs. I'm Losing You, Watching the Wheels Woman, and Just Like Starting Over. You know I'm all about hype stickers. And they had, this was pretty cool to find. I'm not going to take it out of the cover. You always, if you ever see this 2 versions album of John Lennon and Yoko Ono, you want to find this plastic tab right there, because that's what was keeping people from seeing the naked cover. They had that stuck on with that sticker. So that's the first issue. It was on sale for $2.99 of 2 versions. And of course, the album is unplayed, but who in the heck would play the album anyway?
Oh.
Not exactly a masterpiece. And I got another Band on the Run with a hype sticker. Cool hype sticker, Paul McCartney and Wings. And I got this in today, Led Zeppelin Physical Graffiti. This is a Germany first pressing with strawberry in the dead wax. Supposed to be, according to Thor on Rachel's Ghost channel, one of the best pressings ever of Physical Graffiti. What do you say, PB Thal? You're the expert on Led Zeppelin. All right, any other shout-outs, questions before we finish this up? I think I've about shown everything.
Yeah, you have.
What happened to the album on that? Okay, I got it. Abbey Road, Hey Jude. So the Hey Jude first press import to the military bases last time with that 250 tag, price tag up there. The best way to hear Hey Jude remastered from the master tapes for this issue only. And this is the USA version we just got in the state sale yesterday in the shrink with a near mint record with Beatles again on the label. That was a mistake, but they had already made 1 million of them, so it's pretty common before they switched it to Hey Jude. Did I show? I think I showed everything from the 30-pound claw. I got a couple more things. I'll be done. These all came from the state sale yesterday. Can you believe I got this for not much over $1? The Beach Boys Capital Years World Records from 1980. It's a 7 audiophile. Capital Years, a 7 album set, all remastered from the master tapes at Abbey Road Studios in 1980, like the Beatles from Liverpool box set. And they got all laminated covers that are pretty sharp. Summertime, USA, California Dream, Sunshine Music, Changes, Timeless, Breakaway. Last one, the Brian Wilson Productions. That's when he was producing his wife, the Honeys, and some other artists, the Survivors, Gary Usher, and Glenn Campbell. That's a pretty cool box set. And we got a Beatles 65 in the shrink, a mono. This is the original late 1964 issue with the right inner sleeve. Look at that mono record. Can't tell me that's been played more than a couple times. And we got the Alice Cooper in that box that was aged on the bottom. That's the way it was made. Muscle of Love. That's about what I got to show there. If we got any questions, I'll finish this out.
Brad Parnell said, thanks for not showing the 2 virgins uncovered. And he said, and then Joseph said, that's a great copy of the 2 virgins.
Yeah, that's...
Don't forget to give us a like, please.
That's one of the best I have of that protective brown cover. It's made like a paper bag. And it only has a little split there on the top.
Everyone have a nice night.
Thanks a lot from Louisville, Kentucky. Got a lot more coming in for Saturday, so stick with us Saturday night, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Same bat channel, same bat time. Thanks, Sticker, granddaughter. Thanks, my son, Travis. And
give a like.
See you next time. Let's get to that 2,000 subscribers so we can give. I didn't show the butcher covers.
No.
You all?
No, we're good. I was getting ready. I had it ready and I canceled it.
So we got
Peter has said, take care of yourself, Frank. Get well. So
you can choose which butcher cover that I have mostly peeled, and that's a remove trunk slick. So see you later from Louisville, Kentucky. Thanks a lot.
That's all. That was all of John.
Bye.
Is that like a comment for a Beatle then?
That was all of John. Oh, the butcher cover? It was mostly John. He's the one who pushed for it. But there's only 2 people smiling on the butcher cover. Who are they? Which 2 are smiling? They're the ones that wanted it. John and Paul. Ringo and George said, get the heck, I want the heck out of here. All right, see you later. Thanks.
Bye.